Hey, how's it going, guys? Yu-Gi-Oh! Advanced with a special guest today.
Yeah, it's me. It's Wade's friend, Bigred the Dragon.
Yeah, I should really pull up your channel, but okay. Anyways, we're here to talk to you guys about a few simple decks that are under the radar as of right now. They're sort of just competitive, but they're not really there. They're potential to be competitive, but they're just not up there. So here are some decks that are actually out there. First, do you want to talk about Glad Beasts or do you want to talk about Ghost Tricks?
I guess since I'm more prone to Ghost Tricks, I'll talk about them. They have actually a lot of removal opportunities, especially if you use
Skeleton.
a stall, like a Nico stall with Skeleton, and then you put some Macrocosmos and Diffuser in there. That might sound insane at first, especially if you're going to XYZ into some of your stuff to get some of your Ghost Tricks back, but then again, you have like Vanish and all that to prevent all of your monsters from being destroyed anyways, so it isn't too big of a deal on that end, especially if you side in an Necrophage to get all of your stuff back, and then you can get their banished cards back, especially you get like 100 attack for Necrophage for each banned card. But yeah, usually in this there's a lot of like graveyard play, and some of the more meta decks like Shaddolls, Yangzing, what else? Lightsworn, things like that. Things that play from the grave, like a whole lot. Those are a pretty good example of how to remove some of the more powerful cards in those decks with something such as, something that's more built to banish and mill and basically render the deck pretty useless.
Yeah, Ghost Trick Skeleton really removes everything from play face down, so it makes things a lot easier to work around.
Yeah.
In Japan, they actually had his name as Ghost Trick Grim Reaper. Did you know that?
Yeah.
His name was Ghost Trick Grim Reaper. He banishes up to 5, right? 5? Yeah, he gets to banish up to 5 face down.
It's pretty much up to 5. It's basically the number of Ghost Trick monsters face up on the field.
And since they're face down, they can't DDR whatever they banish or anything like that. The only thing that can get them back is Necroface, because Necroface doesn't target face up banish cards, just banish cards in general. So that's really cool.
And the thing is, too, you can't get back with, like, Leviathan, or not Leviathan, but Leviair Dragon.
Right. And using skeletons, it's a trigger and summon ignition, but it makes it really quick, and it slows your opponent really bad, because if you banish just one of their JDs, it makes the chances of them getting it even harder. So, I mean, let's say they mill an Eclipse Wave in first turn. Big deal. You can still hit other Judgments and other stuff with Ghost Tricks. And since being you want them face down, running the Ghost Trick Skeleton Burn, which I have experience in, he runs the Nico Lockdown. I play the Skeleton Burn, which is probably my favorite version of the Ghost Tricks.
Mine's a little bit of both with the Nico and the Skeleton Burn. The only thing I don't have really for the Skeleton Burn would be the Warwolves. That's like the only thing I don't really have. I don't feel like it's absolutely necessary because I'm more focused on getting rid of essential cards in their deck so I can have a little bit more of a head start in the game. Yeah,
I completely understand you there. There are other decks, such as Chaos Bleach. Chaos Bleach is a really strong deck, actually.
Well, I realized in that sort of deck is you can really make it pretty versatile. Chaos Dragons can be potentially versatile with, more of the destruction decks, like Destruction Heroes. You could get Light Pulsar and Red Eye out, and if they mass change for they max change Ice Edge for some other one, and they blow your stuff up like in the final phase. Well, you can go in phase 2, get back here like Pulsar or something like Belize and whatnot.
Yeah.
And you could still have that strong defense or offense, what have you, on the board. Also, Kidmodo Dragon is actually pretty cool, but the only downfall is you cannot declare your battle the same turn you activate him. You can only special summon dragon types, and you can only use him once per turn, too. He is a good fit, and he's a good bait, especially if they try to get rid of your Raikos, because usually in my deck, I have a whole bunch of targets that do go face down. I have Kimono, I still have the Merchant and Magician of Faith. I think I still have those in there, but I don't think for the build that I have. Also, Plex Spreaders, yeah, those things are really fun in that deck, because you can get, like, say if you have a Light Pulsar in the deck, or in the graveyard, and you have a Light Pulsar in your hands and a Plex Spreader, you can special summon that Light Pulsar plus one from the hand to get that Plex Spreader sync up for a Belize, which is pretty gnarly, especially when you get multiple level 8 synchros out at once. And the funny thing with that deck, like you revealed to me this, that you can actually target Belize with Scrap Dragon and another card, then it says destroy them. Or is it like, oh, you destroy them if you only target them and whatnot, or some jazz like that where I wasn't able to do that. I didn't know I was able to do that. Also, with my build, Phantom of Chaos and a Dark Arm Dragon, yeah, that's a really good combo to pull off too, because if you have like a whole bunch of darks in the graveyard and you need to pop stuff, and even if you get back a Dark Arm Dragon and you want to be able to banish enough stuff out of your graveyard in the amount of time to save yourself, you can always Phantom of Chaos, banish all those darks, and pop as many stuff as possible.
Right.
Because Phantom of Chaos, you could banish one effect monster from the graveyard, gains effect, its name, and its attack until the end of the turn. But battle damage with that card is basically 0. Like, it does 0 battle damage. Oh. But you can always get your Dark Arm back with Dragon Nation, because you can, like, have those 3 at the back row. Be like, okay, Dragon Nation, back Phantom of Chaos, and, like, banish your previous Phantom of Chaos and just blow the crap out of their stuff. I mean, Chaos does have potential. With the lack of Ravine, it is sort of crappy for a lot of decks, especially with Dragooties. Dragooties just got wasted by the ban list from that.
They're like, fuck you and get out of life.
You can still use Dark Flare and Chaos Dragons, but still isn't as good. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, onto my deck that I've had more experience with this than he has. Gladiator Beasts, they're really missed out. They get a few new support cards out of the last 2 or 3 things. Augustus was one of them. You get to special summon monsters from your hands, so you could contact into a whole bunch of stuff, and you still gain their effects, which was really cool. I think it was Augustus, yeah.
I think it was actually Augustus, because you spammed the field with that a lot, didn't you?
Yeah, that was one of my favorite combos. And the best part is you can tribute summon for him, and he's a quite big beater, so he could just go straight into Gizaris. He could go into anything you want, so popping back rows is no problem. Having Lucario to spam the field, getting Bear out, which I don't see a lot of people play Bear in the Glad Beast anymore. I just see the big defender, which I only ran one of him because he wasn't that great. He was just there. The Gladiator Beasts weren't meant for fusion, but they were made for contact, which is similar to what the Cyber Dragons did. Cyber Dragons contacted with the field, and they often tried to overlay for their new one that they got, Nova. It's been a while since it's been out, though. So there are other cards that could be used inside the Gladiator Beast that nobody notices, like 3 Reckless. Reckless in the Gladiator Beast is amazing with Lucario. You draw 6 cards. 6 cards, 2 turns to wait.
Draw 6 cards, so much advantage, but you can't draw for the, like, what, 2?
Just 2.
Because if you act them...
If you activate them at the exact same time, you only have to wait 2. If you activate them at different times, it resets them, so... Like, for instance, if you use 1 the first turn, you have to wait 2 turns. You don't draw. You already drew it with Reckless. You set Reckless. You draw 2 more. And then you have to wait another 2. You only have to wait 2. Always 2 after Reckless is activated. The only thing is keeping track of Reckless is the only thing I've ever had problem with. Which is what dice is for, but I've seen people even misplace their dice just so that way they could actually see if they could draw or not. And they forget. So many people forget about it, so that's why I don't recommend it. But if you got a decent memory on what you got, I do recommend running Reckless and Glads. Another card, and actually, beat that shit up. Kaiser Coliseum was actually really under the radar for the longest time until somebody topped with that card, until Boujing came around. Oh, man, that card was so good back in the day, and nobody realized it. That's what I hate about this generation, is this generation overlooks all the old cards. Like, Upstart Goblin wasn't around until... What was that guy's name? Like,
Patrick Hoboen, or Hoboen?
Hoboen. Yeah, Hoboen. Yeah. It wasn't really popular until after Hoboen got a hold of it, and he's like, you know what? This is a really good card. Let's draw the shit out of my deck.
You give your opponent 1,000 and you draw 2.
One thing's really funny is why did Konami chose they chose Rengeki over Heavy Storm because Heavy Storm would destroy your own and your opponent only because of the fact that artifacts require to be destroyed. But they only gain their effects.
Okay, Heavy Storm, hey, guess what? You left yourself defenseless. All artifacts.
Yeah, you're dead, bitch.
Yeah, it's like, Heavy Storm would be horrible for this format.
But I do think that this format could use Harpy's Feather Duster, actually. Because it doesn't destroy your own. It only destroys your opponent. So it would be decent in this format. Because of Rengeki, now that I've seen Rengeki in play, I see how little we actually require to destroy your opponent's monsters. Oh, man. It's just spamming all the time. Alright, so that's about it for today. Maybe, again, we'll do another video. Maybe in a week. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe Thursday. Maybe never. But it'll be again. So, see you later, Big.
It just depends on how we feel.
Alright, see you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Bye.